Okay. We may be a little late to the party, but I wanted to get over this because it seems like it's really interesting and it's been really big for a while, and I want to talk about it. Now, you may have remembered, and if you're a new frog, hi, I'm happy to have you. But recently, a big thing that conservatives have been on is they've been in the battle dome, okay? They've been fighting tooth and nail with a big company, and that company is Disney. The war between conservatives and Disney is incredibly messy and very odd and very strange, I must tell you, okay? And so a lot of it started when Disney decided to kick off Gina Carano after she said that people not liking her for not wanting to take, the clot shot, the Fauci ouchie, the Joe juice, the jib jab, things along those lines, the jokey pokey. Is similar to how we treat people who didn't want to take, the jokey pokey, is similar to how we treated, similar to how like the Third Reich treated Jewish people back in the 1930s and 40s, which I must tell you is an insane take from an insane person, right? But that didn't stop conservatives from being completely not on their side. And then it continued with Disney not liking Florida's Don't Say Gay bill and actively saying that it's not a good thing. And then Florida decided to saddle the surrounding counties around Disney World with $1 billion worth of debt. But it's still continuing because recently there was a leak for a new show for Disney. It's called Baymax with an exclamation point. Now, some of you guys may have watched Big Hero 6. I didn't because I don't watch movies, but I do know about Baymax. Baymax is a medical robot who was who's from a kid and his brother, and then they fought, and heroes and San Francisco, but Tokyo. Okay, that's what I know. All right. But Disney decided that it would be a great idea to use this property from Big Hero 6 and spin him off into his own like health robot sort of TV show. And a couple of scenes leaked from this show. Don't forget 6. That's true. You also can't forget about the big or the hero. That's important. Anyways, like I said, a couple of scenes leaked from the show where he is his own health robot and he's going around doing his goofy little things and talking to people, interacting with people. It seems cute, right? But there's one massive issue, one huge issue, which is that they talk about things in the real world, all right? They talk about things in the real world, and it's bad and it's horrible for everybody. Okay, now there's a bunch of videos that were made on this. Okay, so we're going to be listening to a Ray Neal video, we're going to be watching a Ben Shapiro video, a Quartering video, and a Steven Crowder video. Okay, just so we make sure that we get all of the possible viewpoints that a person who is opposed to this could possibly have. We're going to just be watching all of these. We're going to be taking our time to make sure that we can do that, because it's really important that we listen to the opposition. Okay, so we're going to do something really quick. Don't worry. Okay, it's okay. Calm down. Okay, I've been doing this for long enough. Calm down. I've been doing this for long enough. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to absorb the talking points and then we're going to talk about them, okay? Here.
Time with the most recent Disney Plus series.
Big Hero 6, I actually like that movie. I guess it's a new I like the first one. Yeah, there's a show coming out now. Oh, good. Did you guys notice? So there's some leaked footage.
And once again, we have
Baymax is the robot
video that has gone viral. Several million views already. And I think it's safe to say that the vast majority of people, by that I mean like 90%, they're doing this by having.
It is done. I've downloaded all of their talking points. And it is done. I know what all of them think now. Down to the very last sentence that they will say. From the beginning to the end. So let's talk about it. Turns down my volume. You shouldn't have turned down the volume, because when you turn down the volume, you're not soaking in the talking points. It's important to listen to your political opponents. It's important, okay? So the scene in question that they have such a massive issue to is right here. We can just talk about it really quick, okay? And especially for any Vaguber havers, for any vagino havers, this is for you, all right?
Excuse me, which of these products would you recommend?
Oh, well, these are the tampons I usually use.
Thank you.
I prefer pads. They're more comfortable for me.
Thank you.
I always get the ones with wings.
Thank you.
Get them scented and bleach-free if you can.
Thank you.
Yo, my daughter loves these.
Thank you.
These might be easier if it's her first period. These are really environmentally friendly.
So, some of you may be wondering, some of you may be thinking to yourself, Shark, what's the issue? Shark, those videos that you just downloaded the talking points from, was that unironically about this? The answer is yes. All of them were genuinely in shock and horror that Disney decided to talk about something that almost every single Vagoober having person goes through, which is called a period, okay? Now, for me personally, you know, maybe they only wanted like Disney to talk about periods that, you know, end sentences, but when it comes to me in particular, the only thing a period stops is a sentence. So like I've been around them a decent amount, as well as I have a family that's full of female people, and so it's something that I've had to be around when I was as I've been growing up, right? This isn't insane. This isn't crazy. And I think it's really great that people are, that kids have an option to learn about this type of stuff and some of the media that they watch. This isn't wild. Baymax is a healthcare robot. He's a robot that takes care of people's health. That's it. That's what he's made for. And so he's here to help somebody, to help a kid when it comes to their first period and the difficulties that go through that every kid who's probably old enough to watch this that every, like, you know, woman, any girl, right, that is growing up, almost every girl who's growing up and old enough to watch this is something that they're going to go through, right? This is something they're all going to have to go through. And I know that I have some like people in chat who had periods when they were younger and they weren't told anything about it. I know for a fact there are people, and you may have been seeing, and you may have heard from them. You may be one yourself, where like they grow up and when they have a period for the first time, they think that they're dying. Okay. Like they're like, why am I bleeding? Because like parents didn't talk to them about it or anything, or maybe they grew up with like their grandparents or something and they were too scared to talk about it, or they thought it was too awkward. They grew up with like a single dad or something and he didn't like know what to do, right? That happened to me. Nobody told me and I cried. Yeah, it's just like this happens a lot to people. There's no reason why, like, I think anybody, whether you be a boy or a girl, there's no reason why you shouldn't know what like a period is, okay? I'm sorry. If you really care so much about your boy being straight, then I think that he should like learn something about like the thing that you want him to put his dick in. Like, you know? He should know like a little bit about it. Like when I was younger, I didn't know that much about it. And you know what? Now that I'm older, I've realized that that's childish. It's childish not to know anything about it. It really is. Like, there's no reason why I should be like scared or confused. There's no reason why any boy, honestly, when he has a girlfriend, a wife, a partner who like needs tampons or needs pads or needs feminine hygiene products, there's no reason why he should like go to the feminine hygiene aisle and like have to call up his partner and be like, hey, yo, girl, I'm at the pussy product section. What size pussy you wear, right? Like that should only be like a meme. But there's honestly so many guys who don't know anything about anything. And a lot of their arguments revolve around the fact that they don't see any reason for why boys should know anything about like periods. So I made this tweet. Why does a boy need to learn about periods? Because unlike you, he might have a girlfriend one day. It's true. It's true. Okay. If you can talk about pee, if you can talk about poop, why can't you talk about something like a period? Unless you think that there's some like weird sexual undertone to like little girls having periods, which I don't think so. That's just how their body works because they're girls, right? And a lot of girls have periods. I'm sorry. And guys have periods too. And another thing that they were like crying and moaning about was the fact that there may be a trans guy here. This person right here, it's a possibility that this is a trans man. Do we know? Maybe, maybe not. What if this guy is just wearing a trans shirt because he wants to support trans people? Or maybe he is a trans guy. Who knows? I didn't see his dick or his non-existent dick. I didn't see his vagina. Okay, Baymax didn't pick this guy up and start to shake him and like put his ear up to like their tummy and see if like he could hear their ovaries shaking around like maracas. Okay, I have no clue. Nobody knows, and that's okay because it's not important. Nobody needs to know what type of like genitals you necessarily have. All right, to have like an opinion on it. And the idea, and even Tim Pool came out and said that, and once again, like I wanted to ask this question earlier, but I thought it would be a great time now for the female body peoples in chat, okay? For my Vagoober havers. Tim Pool compared tampons and feminine hygiene products to toilet paper. He was like, I can't imagine a scenario in which women all gather together in like the tampon aisle and are like, oh, and when you have a question about like a younger person who's not there to like ask like what type of products would be great for them. Like there's no way women would ever give advice for something like the type of tampons or pads they use. That's so creepy. That's so weird. I promise you he said this. Actually, you know what? Can I pull this up? He's like, I can't believe this. And then this guy who was like, hey, my daughter loves these. He's like, what? The dad just knows what type of pads that his daughter likes? Yeah, because he's her dad. He's her dad. Okay? Like, I'm sorry. I don't think he's going to send over his 12-year-old daughter to go drive and pick up tampons for herself. Right? And there's and you had the kid. If you weren't prepared to take care of a female child, then I don't know why you're having kids. I'm sorry. This is like not understanding how to like clean a female baby's diaper. There's no reason why you shouldn't know how to do that. All right. Like I don't have a vagina, but I know like if I was to change like a little baby girl's diaper, I shouldn't be wiping, back to front. You know what I mean? And there's nothing like weird or sexual about that. It's just knowing about the very simple biology. The biology who they always harp on about is so important that lefties try to pretend doesn't exist. Yeah, it's not about like feeling good. It's about like stopping bleeding. As far as I know from how I've heard from girls is that they say that like a lot of pads and tampons and stuff aren't very comfortable necessarily, but you know what it's more comfortable than? Bleeding down your leg as you're like walking to your like 4th period class in high school. Okay, here we go.
I see these art pieces on Instagram where like women will like there was a woman and she posted a photo of herself like covered in blood, and I'm just like, okay, look, I get that, like guys don't go through that. Guys have a kind of cycle, like wet dreams or whatever. Here we go, not for kids, right?
What? And yeah, a lot of these conservatives keep comparing a period to like coming in your sleep or something, or like a wet dream. And honestly, period pads. A transgender man buys period pads. None of these guys know like how females work. Okay, all of them are like, haha, I'm super straight. I love women, but they know nothing about like the people who they want to like have sex with, right? Guys have our cycles, dude. Like, I'm sorry, comparing like a period to comparing like a menstrual cycle and ovulation to having a wet dream, that's insane. And you know what? I think there can be a tasteful way that a kid's show can handle a wet dream. It'd be like he thinks that he peed the bed, but it wasn't pee, and they have like a little moment where they're like, "It's okay, it happens to everyone. You're not weird for it, It's perfectly fine. You're growing up, and it's just like a part of growing up. It's okay. So let's change your sheets and let's go to soccer practice. There's a perfectly fine way to handle that. Like honestly, there truly is." But anyways, I want to see this.
I don't care there's a trans person in it. Americans are rejecting this when crowds around and suggests to a robot which tampons or pads make. So fine, do a show where everyone crowds around and suggests to a robot which tampons or pads makes the most sense. I wasn't prepared for this, an anxious Sophia tells Baymax. And the dispenser's empty and I don't even have a thing, a tam pad, a pad pon, a maxi pad pon with wings. he could help his friend Baymax head to the supermarket to go shopping for some products. He then asks a woman in the look, here's the reality. You know, women have menstrual cycles, and so they need products. And there are young girls who are going through these things and need guidance, I guess. I think it's between the parents and the kid. I don't know if you need Disney to do this kind of thing. Like, imagine it this way. What if Disney came out with like a wet dream episode of Baymax?
I don't want to... What? What if Disney came out with an episode where Baymax was covered in cum? Wouldn't be so cool then, now would it? What are you talking about? My favorite episode? Yeah, my favorite episode, the cum Baymax episode. Here, I want to see where he's talking about like how he's like confuzzled that like women ask like about products.
Let me play this for you, and then let's talk about this.
Excuse me?
They're wearing a trans flag shirt. What are you gonna have? Like, do they say that person is trans?
Get the ones with.
And bleach free if you can.
Thank you. Yo, my daughter loves these.
Thank you.
Yo, my daughter loves these. Now that's the one that made me say, hey, wait a minute. Okay, first of all, I do think it's kind of weird that they're doing the scene where a bunch of random people are telling the robot like, ooh, buy these pads, buy these tampons. Hey, look, I'm not a chick. I have no idea what goes on in the tampon aisle.
That's bad. That's a bad thing. Not that you not being a chick, even though I have seen like female edits of female Tim Pool, and I gotta say, she a little bad. But like the problem here is you not understanding what goes on in the tampon aisle. Tim Pool has gotten a girlfriend for the first time in his adult life, and like you should know like that you should get pat. Here's the thing, right? Is that like take care of your girlfriend. You know, like a lot of these guys, they like talk about how much they would like to take care of like a girl, or like they feel like affirmed by that sort of like masculine like thing. Like, go. I don't think that you can say you can take care of your like your wife, your girlfriend, like even like your daughter or anything. If you don't know how to go to an aisle and pick up a menstrual product, okay? I don't think you can do it. I don't think you can. You're not built for it. You don't understand what's going on. And you know what? It's genuinely sad because I still think that it's pretty childish. I think so. You know what? When you're like a guy, here's like my advice for guys, okay? When you're a guy and you have a girlfriend, even if you're not like living together, or even if you're not living alone, or like if you're out of your parents' house yet, you know what your girlfriend is going to think would be like the most amazing thing, incredible thing ever, that will get like every girl to be like, holy crap, he's amazing, is if you ask her what type of like product she needs for her like menstrual cycles, and you keep some in your bathroom for her. You go out and buy them, you spend your own money, and you keep some in your bathroom for her when she comes over, just in case she needs it. She may never need it, but the fact that you cared enough to like do that, know exactly what she needs, be able to pick them up and keep them around just in case, that's an incredible thing that a lot of guys don't do, and a lot of guys need to do more of. That's called taking care of your partner, and you need to know a little bit about it. Like I know my girlfriend knows a little bit about how my dick works, at least a little bit about how my dick works, right? Like if something's wrong, I think she'd be able to like point it out, and I think she knows like probably not to like try and inflate my foreskin like it's a freaking carnival balloon, you know? I think they know a little bit about that. I think that you should know a little bit about the thing you want to put your dick in, partner. I'm sorry. My GF brought her own pads to my house. Yeah, and like honestly, I think she would have really appreciated it if you would have at least offered. She could say no, and that's fine, but at least offer to bring to buy her pads and keep them at your own house. Like I think that's an incredible thing. I did that last time I had a partner, and it was like incredibly nice. She used them like twice, you know. I didn't feel like it's a waste of money, because what if she needed them more times? What if she was like out one day? What if, I don't know, something happened to them? I don't know, but I think that's really cool. And to act like children about this is honestly just sad. It's just sad. And when I say like genuinely acting like children like this is what I mean. This is TheQuartering. Take a look at this really quick. So for the thumbnail for this video, he got a tea bag and covered it in ketchup. And it's like, whoa, like he's genuinely 5. Can you act like an adult for 1 second? Mr. Jeremy Hambly, can you act like you're actually 40 for like 1 day in your life? He is 40, mind you. Can you act like you're 40 for a second? For like 1 moment? Making menstrual tea. I love my girlfriend. That's the reason why I keep the tampons at my house. So when she's done with them, there's a secret tampon compartment in my trash can for when she throws them away. I keep those for later. I'm joking. Stop. Teapons. I mean, they are teapons. You make me regret giving you money. I love my girlfriend. You guys don't love your girlfriend or something? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Like, I'm gay, but I could still end up getting a boyfriend who's trans, and most of my friends are women. Yeah, like you could have like a friend who's a woman or something, right? Like, this isn't an insane thing. This isn't crazy to know at least a little something about what half the population goes through. Half of them, you know? And Christian Rufo spent some time like losing his mind over the fact that like Disney was like showing that menstrual products exist. Disney, it's all part of Disney's plan to re-engineer the discourse around kids and sexuality. Having a period I gotta say it louder for the ones in the back. Having a period has nothing to do with sexuality. The type of people who you want to date and you are attracted to has nothing to do with your menstrual cycle or other biological functions. This has nothing to do with this. I don't think that I do not know if he thinks that like gay women don't have periods or something, or changing your sexuality. If you're pan, you have like some periods but not others. Maybe it's like more gel-like or jelly-like. I don't know, but this is ridiculous. This is insanity. Yeah, teaching kids to wipe their ass. Groomer, you wipe your butt. Groomer. Oh my gosh. And this is like one of the most insane takes, okay? Whoever's behind this is just trying to normalize what is, you said, misogynist, but also dangerous. Have you seen what Disney has been up to? Sick, targeting children's young minds. Pornography sheltering under old Disney family-friendly philosophy. Vile. They think it's porn. They think it's porn. They think Baymax. They think picking out tampons is porn. Going to the feminine hygiene aisle is porn. And this is what leads so many like women to not know anything about like their bodies. This being porn. This has nothing to do with porn. This has nothing to do with sexuality. This has nothing to do with sex. It has everything to do with just their bodies. It happens. Menstruating people equals porn. Like, why are we so bad about teaching women about how their bodies work? Why? Like, we're perfectly fine like making like even some dick jokes. Like, remember the joke from remember the joke from SpongeBob where Patrick has a good idea and SpongeBob is like, Patrick, your genius is showing, and then Patrick covers his crotch and he's like, where? Like, that's funny. That's funny. That's not like an insane crazy joke. That's a perfectly fine joke that you can tell, and it goes over lots of like little kids' heads, and it's not like super sexual either. It's perfectly fine for them to be around something like that. The idea that they can is genuinely just worse than childish, honestly. And here's another part of that scene. Look at this and tell me that this is porn, apparently.
It is common for people to feel embarrassed, fearful, or uncomfortable with the subject of menstruation, but it is just biology. It is nothing to be ashamed of.
No, Baymax, it's not that. I remember when my cousin Valerie got her period, and my tia Mariana wouldn't stop calling her mi mujercita, and
what does that mean? Do I have any Hispanic people? What does that mean? Did she say my little ketchup packet? Is that what that meant? My little woman. My little woman. I wish it said. I wish she would have said my little ketchup packet.
Period. And my tia Mariana wouldn't stop calling her mi mujercita, and everyone started treating her differently. I'm not ready for that. I'm not done being a kid yet.
You are 12 years old. By many cultural standards, you are still a child, a pre-teenager, or tween.
But getting your period is supposed to be like this huge deal, and it means I'm different now, right?
You are getting older. Your body may change, but you will always be you.
That's it. What a good segment. What? And they're calling this porn that needs to be taken off the air. That's insanity. This is so cute. What the heck? You don't understand how many millions of women around the world wish they got like a talk like this when they were younger, instead of like being made fun of and like clowned on and like had their fears like exacerbated, right? There's so many women out there. Please stop. Don't play it again. There's so many women out there who wish they could have had like who could have been like grown up like this. It's so nice because that's something that a lot of people go through when like being scared of growing up, being scared of like losing your youth and like being old or whatever. You like being you, but like you don't have to get like, you don't have to really change. You can still be you. You're just 12, you know? And you know how a lot of conservatives are like, let kids be kids. This is letting kids be kids. Understanding just because this happens to your body, you're going through puberty, does not mean you're not like still a kid. I'm sorry. I'm not like conservatives who think that like when a girl has her period, that means that she's a woman now and is ready to be married off and impregnated. I don't think that. That shit's weird. Okay. She's 12. Okay. I'm sorry. We don't live in no Romeo Juliet sort of weird ass timeline where you can like where you can be 21 and marry a 12-year-old and think that it's okay. It ain't. All right. I'm sorry. You are literally, he was like, shut the fuck up. You're 12 years old. Right. And that's a perfectly fine scene to have. I wish Baymax talked to me. Yeah, I wish Baymax talked to me. And like a lot of people are like, oh, but people are like, kids are gonna ask their parents about like what this thing is. Like, okay, good. And the parents should be prepared to answer the question. You shouldn't have a 12-year-old girl and not know that you need to talk to her about having a period. Why is this so weird? Why do parents not want to do their job? Stop having kids. Stop it. If you can't handle it, stop. Stop. The only reason why these types of things are coming out is because you don't do your job. You're bad at it. Teacher, if you want this to only be between you and your kid, actually do it between you and your kid. Actually talk about it. And then if that's the case, if you're so good at this actually being done, then you shouldn't have a problem with somebody saying something that you've already told your kid just in a nicer way on TV for a second. There's no problem with this. I promise you. Like if I watched a TV show that was like, treat black people well, my parents wouldn't like flip their lid and freak out or anything. That wouldn't happen. You know why? Because they've already taught me about life and shit, because they were prepared to have kids. If you aren't, that's a you problem. That's not a Disney problem. What can I say? Like, come on. This ain't 9/11 to have a 12-year-old learn about what a period is. Everyone should know what it is. And we need to stop. And once again, I'm going to get on my high horse right now. We need to stop separating boys and girls when it comes to sex ed. There's nothing that you're going to teach like the girls that the boys shouldn't know about sex ed. Literally nothing. Not a single thing that they shouldn't know. And there's nothing that the boys are going to learn that the girls shouldn't know about sex ed. Okay. If you like really, truly, really want them to be straight or something, it doesn't matter like what their sexuality is. They could be like asexual, completely asexual, and think sex is gross and stinky and don't want to be around it at any point in time in their entire lives. But they should still know about this stuff because they still have biology and they're going to know people with biology, and it's important. And you know what? Like with like microplastics or some shit like that, a lot of young girls are having their periods way earlier and are having to be put on the puberty blockers to make sure that they don't go through like 9-year-old puberty. You know, I think that they should learn something a little bit about that, then just be in the dark and wonder why they feel like they're dying every month and they start like randomly bleeding. Okay, I think it's good for them to understand something about that. So stop it. These conservatives are too easy to download, and they're too easy to And they're too easy to just lie. It's just disgusting. As young as 8? I think like the youngest reported pregnancy was, and the kid was like 7 or something, which is disgusting. From what my girlfriends have said, the girl sex ed class is just fear mongering about STIs and consent verbiage. Yeah, it sounds about right. Yeah, it sounds about right. Also, like, they're gonna be talking about this shit. Like, look at what's on actual TV. Look at this.
But I need to say my important takeaway message from this experience. You know, something kids can talk to their parents about on the drive home. Credits!
I am sorry, the friend Robin, but this is not that type of movie. To the credits!
Wait! Kids, ask your parents where babies come from!
Like, and this was at the end of like the Teen Titans Go movie. What the fuck? Literally just ask your parents where babies come from. That's funny. It is. But they don't freak out about that. But they do freak out about, listen, okay? The Teen Titans Go movie went like kind of insane. Can we take a look at this really quick? What? Robin. What? So apparently, I think the premise is they went back in time and they messed with the timeline and the superheroes weren't there. So they had to go back in time again to fix the timeline. And so, you know, Bruce's parents didn't die, so we didn't get Batman. So you know what we need to do. My man. We did it. Thank you. Damn, the minions be smashing, dude. The minions be smashing, man. Minions a little fruity. What is this? What's this? What the heck is this? What's going on here? Sweet home. Well, are they? Wait, are the minions aren't like? Are they siblings? They're not siblings, are they? Minions be fucking yeah, little spoon minion over here. This is terrifying. No, minions are unstoppable. I thought they were a hive species. Yeah, I thought they were like born from like moss or something, or like pure evil. They're actually a hive mind? Wait, so when they're fucking each other, they're fucking themselves? They're just roommates, guys? Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, they are just roommates. They're just roommates, okay? It's just like a small room, they're roommates. They're not gay. It's like, it's masturbation. Oh yeah, you're right. When they have sex, they're masturbating. It's okay. They're just beating their meat. They're beating their collective meat. Because when one comes, they all come. They're roommates. They were just really close friends. They're roommates. They're friends. Ah, you gotta love it. I love how not gay the minions are, really. It's probably one of my favorite things. It's true. It's true. It's true. I love the minions. I love the minions. Jesus loves them, this I know. 'Cause my streamer told me so.